The Guardians, I mean, they're suffering from not having Shane Bieber for the rest of the season due to Tommy John surgery. This is hitting Major League Baseball the same crack hit like
The
what was it?
80s,
Like the
bro.
80s, they say, right? And I'm being honest, like I know I sound funny saying that, but it's almost like a pitcher's best friend these days. Like you have
No,
to get it. Like
I
you're missing out if you don't get it.
I kind of go the other way. I think it's a pitcher's worst nightmare. I kind of get the like. I kind of hate that this is a thing. I kind of hate that we have to even talk about this when it comes to pitching and health and all this type. Like I hate it. I really do. If you're a Guardian fan today, you're sick. If you're a Guardian fan, if you're a fan of great starting pitchers, also here's the other thing that sucks, guys. He's a free agent at the end of the year. So we like the thing that sucks is he may have to settle for a deal in which you're like, damn, you had to take that deal. I know that's rough because you look at a guy like that and you're like, you shouldn't have to settle, bro. He should have been on his way to collecting the world's a nice little bag for himself. Just because he was just starting to find the I feel good. You know, there was something in there that you were like, oh, this he's gonna be all right. You know, his arm is finally back healthy because he pitched through pain last year. So to know that this was a thing, I wonder how much pain you have to be in to pitch through that and say, all right, something's not right. I got to shut this down. Like that must be a different level of agony, not even just physical, but mental agony. No, yo, damn, I was about to get the bag this year. And they shut me down before it was even possible.
I feel like nowadays with pitchers, there's really two sides when it comes to Tommy John surgery.
Mm-hmm.
You have the pitcher where you sort of saw it coming all along, and it was just a matter of time until you heard the announcement that they would undergo Tommy John surgery, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you also had the pitchers where sometimes it happens out of nowhere. Like, as weird as it sounds, like sometimes nothing could be wrong with you. And everyone who loves baseball finds out that you just blew out your elbow because that's just how the game is sometimes, especially when you're a pitcher. And I know nowadays we see a lot of outfielders undergoing Tommy John surgery. We saw it happen with Bryce Harper and some others. Jason Dominguez, another one who's undergoing Tommy John surgery. But yeah, it's Tommy John surgery, man, it's looking really bad for Major League Baseball. And I would like to see how Major League Baseball is actually going to respond to this because, yeah, we've been seeing it for some years now, but I think we've gotten to a point where it's looking like a pattern.
You know who's a guy that is that I'm heartbroken for is Eury Perez.
Yes.
This guy's career barely has gotten off the ground, and he's got to go into the knife for this thing.
Yeah.
And you're sick for him. You're just sick for him.
And it's unfortunate, too, because with him being out, the Marlins, to my knowledge, haven't even gotten a win yet this season.
No, they won today.
Oh, so they what? 1-9?
1-9. They beat the dog feces out of the Cardinals.
Okay, I'll take that back. But going back to what I was saying originally, though, still a 1-9 start. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think the Marlins were gonna be one of the better teams in the National League East, but I definitely didn't have them starting 1-9.
Well, let's just point out why. Their entire starting rotation is hurt. Not one part of their starting rotation has health. The entire starting rotation is dealing with some sort of injury, whether it's a guy like Eury Perez, whether it's a guy like Luzardo, whether it's a guy like Alcantara who's going to miss the entire year.
Right.
Like, when is it enough?
I feel like the pitch clock is probably enhancing, the amount of pitchers who does get Tommy John surgery. But at the same time, Tommy John surgery has been something that has been an issue, I would say, at least over the past few years in Major League Baseball. I don't think it just started this year.
No, listen, it's been something that's happening for a while, but I do think two things are at play here. One, the pitch clock is playing a part. That's one. And two, the other thing that I'm finding relatively fascinating is the amount of spin rate, the amount of breaking balls and sweepers and stuff that is being thrown.
It's hurting the game. I think so, because these
Yeah.
guys deserve to pitch at their best for, if not the entire season, most of the season.
The other thing is, I don't think there's a perfect answer here. I think we're always going to be searching and trying to find what the perfect answer is.
I feel like back in the days, it was normal for pitchers to throw over 200 innings, right? It was normal for a guy to throw over 100 pitches in the start, where nowadays, like, it's very rare where you see a starter reach the 200 inning limit. Not just that, but it's rare for a pitcher to throw 100 pitches in the game. And I think Major League Baseball, or at least teams, I should say, have responded in a way that they thought would make sense. But even that's not working.
It feels like, listen, you want to get a bang for your buck right now. We don't want to wait for 5, 10, even 2-3 years from now. If you notice, the development of pitchers, also even hitters at the big league level, has taken a significant step back from where we were about 5-10 years ago. If you look at all the things that are being discussed in terms of, now everything is a metric: spin rate, high velo, getting the most out of your arm that you can.
Everything. I feel like the analytics is a gift and a curse to baseball. Like, some of the analytics, like, okay, it's cool. It sounds great. I think it's information that everybody should know, right? But it gets to an extent, Stefan, like you just mentioned a few seconds ago, where it's like, all right, like, what are we calculating now?
So listen, these guys are human beings. They play a sport, and let's not act like they're not prone to being hurt. The harder you throw something, or the harder you do something, and your body's not meant to do that for that long, you're gonna break down. It's just the nature of the beast.
In addition to Shane Bieber and Eury Perez, another guy who is also an important pitcher, I would say, especially for the Atlanta Braves, is Spencer Strider. He is going to have his right elbow examined. That's another guy, Stefan. I know you said it, if not on last week's episode, maybe the week prior, but you said you'd like to see how certain teams are going to bounce back from adversity, right? And we found out about the other injury that the Braves are dealing with, and then now with Spencer Strider going down, it's almost, we're at a point now where, because Spencer Strider is not just anybody, right? Like, he's, I would say, an important piece in that starting rotation for the Braves. So this is definitely an important time to kind of focus on the Braves to see how, like you said, Stefan, how are they going to respond to what they are dealing with?
I've always thought that adversity is the best teacher. When you have adversity and you have a lot going on, it kind of teaches you how to deal with certain things. And I'm just like, I wish it wasn't that difficult, man.
Garrett Cole, right? We know what he's dealing with. We're not going to see him for quite some time, but it would not surprise me if at some point this season we find out that he might have to undergo Tommy John. That's not what I'm hoping for. That's not what I am wishing for, however it is that you want to put it. But Garrett Cole having to also undergo Tommy John surgery, in addition to Eury Perez, Shane Bieber.
All right, when is enough enough? When are we going to see these stars be what they are, which is stars? And I'm going to tell you, if we don't get it together, we are in trouble.